The thing that makes the cultural memory of Oberlin College so special is that we had the reputation in the 19th century as being the pioneer college, the pioneer white majority college in the United States to admit African Americans. Now, not a lot of African Americans actually did a 4-year degree. Many of them entered what we call the college's preparatory department. The preparatory department was similar to a high school today, and people would go to the preparatory department in order to get themselves ready to take on the more rigorous academic subjects within the collegiate department. Well, Oberlin was created because of the vision of some people from upstate New York and Connecticut who wanted to establish a city on the hill, which meant a place where you could perfect society and that you could train people for the ministry, for the education of teachers, and that essentially we were filling what some would say in quotes, the great valley of the Mississippi. But Oberlin, because it admitted blacks, admitted women, was very different. And we had a lot of detractors, people who hated Oberlin for having done this very thing. And one of the things that has always amazed me is the fact that southern schools, Louisiana, and Mississippi, and Alabama, sometimes they would pay their best black students to come to Oberlin to get an education so they would not be forced to admit them and create the kinds of things that happened in Little Rock, Arkansas, and what happened also with James Meredith at Mississippi, that they would have had to open their doors. They were not quite ready to do that. So Oberlin continued to be the attractive place for a northern white institution where blacks would enroll and be successful and enter the wider society or mainstream America. That some people thought to solve the problem of blacks in America was to send them elsewhere. And to send them elsewhere meant to send them to Liberia in Africa, to send them to Haiti, and to send them to Lower Canada. And there were a lot of people who lived on the south shore of Lake Erie who made a decision in the 1850s, and these are what I would say the better off African Americans, to settle into Canada in Amherstburg, Chatham, and Kent, and St. Catharines. And I'm always amazed at the number of African Americans who became Canadians, and that American history became Canadian history. And in Canada, it wasn't only about 25 or 30 years ago that the Canadians came to understand that this was a piece of their history and they could capitalize on it as a piece of tourism, and that people were coming to Canada to see where the storyline ended. And whether you're talking about Uncle Tom's Cabin, the Dawn Settlement, Wilberforce, this all was a package of history that crossed the 49th parallel. Well, Promised Land is a project that was funded by the Canadian government to unearth the larger story about history and historiography of the black experience in Chatham, Kent settlements and beyond. So I was at the professional meeting in Chatham, Kent, and I also have been to Halifax, I've been to London. So I feel very much a part of what you're trying to do, and very grateful for having been a part of what is an exciting development, and a piece of the activities is centered at Huron College at the University of Western Ontario in London.